Yo, it's ODB, our lifestyle podcast. Getting back in the catbird seat to do these flip throughs. This is an awesome issue 45 of Mini Truckin Magazine. Let's dive right in. So I kind of been waiting for a little bit to do this flip through. It kind of ties in to a couple of things. Recently, we put Chris Anders' Mazda on our Live Life Topless shirt that we launched, was it beginning of the year? Right after Christmas, I think it was. And we do still have a few of those on our website, okay? I've went through these issues before. So a fan favorite, many of us love this issue, July 94. And we've kind of established, we think it's the only time that I can think of where a truck was on the cover. Chris Anders' truck. And then the next issue, which was August 94, so July 94, August 94, his truck ran as a feature, right? Courtney shot it. So it'll tie into this issue in here in just a minute from the intel that we have, okay? But the metal signs, we do have a few. They have sold very quickly, and we only get them a couple times a year. So if you do want these, as I've said before, this is the bigger one. We're not able to sell those online because they're tougher to ship. But if you go to ourlifestylepodcast.com, you could pick these bad boys up. And again, we constantly are bombarded with people asking about them. If you do want them, try to get them while we have them. There are a few out there under the metal signs category. All right, so we're going to dive into this issue as I push these others out of the way. And this is issue 45, September 95. You can see there SummerSlam, Coalfield Nats, West Coast 95. Okay, so the tie-in, from what I've been told, is this lady. Is her name Jenny? It is Chris Anders's. So the owner that owned this truck, featured in this issue, and there's his truck. That is his sister. So pretty cool. Now, this is an issue that a lot of us really, really like. I'm sure for many different reasons. One, I love the cover. It's got a chick on it, which I think is great. Negative Camber truck. See the surfer or swimmer. Yeah, surfer in the background. I think it's a super clean cover. I also like, still on the old logo, original logo, and then real clean performance wheel and tire buyer's guide. So they did these throughout the years. But I just love everything. Even the AIM Industries accessories really just kind of ties in. You got the ocean in the back. And again, a tall, good-looking lady. Fantastic. Chris, if you're watching this, awesome issue. Okay, so you see the MT there. I liked during this time the background. You can kind of see there. Just all really tied together. Just really well put together issues. This was Tom McMurdo's Chop Shop Equipped Mazda. Graces the cover. Jenny Anders. The Kodak moment was brought to you by Courtney. I tried the other wheels, Hollowell. Insert photo, blah, 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 right? Well, let me say this. Insert photo of CEC's new model 129 5-spoke alloy wheels via, rest in peace, Shaun Carlson. Okay. So, again, this issue is in like mint condition, really good binding. So you can kind of see, and actually I skipped a page. I thought I did. Here you go. You got the AIM truck giveaway. And then you have the TOC contents, table of contents, whatever you want to call them. Here you have stage 1. Rest in peace, Ernie talked about, I think his first lowering job came from stage 1. You see the RA logo there on the Yoda. And you see those throwback prices as everything in the world continues to go up. Shartsis custom wheels and tires, or shall I say the lack of them. So I've been working on the new episode of the podcast. Make sure you go to your favorite podcast app, search OLP, If you've never listened to a podcast, check out Podbean on Android or Apple Podcasts on iPhone. Very cool photo here. You see the old school professional auto sound and security window, banner. Rest in peace. Was it Michael Cox, I think, that owned that company? Going from memory. Really love this wheel and tire guide. So you got this nice background, very reminiscent of that era in terms of the colors, and then you can see all the wheels here. Some of you guys are fiends for wheels. I think wheels are awesome because they kind of bring you to a specific time period. You know, you might see these Antera wheels and go, oh, I remember my neighbor had them, my friend had them. Here you have the Colorado Custom. Love those wheels. By the way, when we had Bill Hancock on, I've said this before, there's Budnik, we titled it Billet Wheel History, those Boyds, with Bill Hancock, because if you look at I want to use Ronnie's word, the lineage. If you look at how all of those wheel companies are tied together and how a lot of them were spun off of Boyd and or other small companies or whatnot, it really, really is amazing. Fun fact, first wheels I ever bought for my S10 were 17-inch center lines. I've still got the receipt, I believe, for those wheels, and last I heard, or last I knew, some of the RA guys had those wheels in Florida down there, and I'd love to buy them back. I sold them to my buddy Russ back in the day. Then I bought them back after my truck was body dropped, and loved the wheels, and then I finally sold them when I started to rebuild the truck because they were sitting and somebody wanted them. But I'd love to get them back and put them on something in the future. Seat covers, paper cuts. Shout out to, I need to go back and look through some of the comments. We get a lot of comments, and that's a whole thing that we super appreciate. Dear K-Daddy, and again, that ties into, you know, Ask K-Daddy. But, you know, we appreciate all the comments. And one person had commented recently that they were the person that wrote the letter, they were the person that wrote the letter that the editor published in an issue that I flipped through. And I think the person was asking for a photo of it or something. So I need to kind of go back and look at that. This was a crazy truck. Junior Dudley's truck there. And then you see here, Joe Greeves, he's still doing it. Doesn't get enough credit, I don't think, for all of the work that he's done in the publishing game. Probably, I'd say since the 80s. Served in the military. Just a really good dude. Never too much. So kind of still in that mid-90s era of featuring some killer lifted trucks. Shine On. Shaun Carlson. Tech article. Rest in peace to Shaun. See an old wheel ad. We are still with the original editor, so as we get closer, we'll talk about some of those changes, but still Will is basically still the editor. Here you see Wyatt Strange. Here you see Kane Morris. He passed away last year. Rest in peace, a fellow Negative Camber member, and many of you know his name probably from the Hack Shack. I did not know Kane, but you see his name pop up there. It's pretty crazy to think like all these names and stuff that help kind of get us to where we are. You know, they became names that you could, you know, a lot of you guys talk to these people on Facebook and, you know, heard them on the podcast. Always like this truck, super low, like the color. This one is made to ticket. So love that track. You have the Toyota. This color is amazing. You got the gas cans. You got the lifted truck. Got some just really good coverage. Dude, that Alpine banner though on the windshield. Oh, what? So, again, issue 45 here we're looking at. Make sure you check out OLP via any podcast app. You can even just search Our Lifestyle Podcast, and it's going to pull up. You can go to our website and click on how to listen. We have a few links. You could even go like on Pandora, for instance. Many of you know that app. And search OLP. Stillin'. I was looking back at some 1990 Truckin issues earlier this week and looking at the old ads. I posted some of those. The Firm. Pretty cool to see a 92 Ford Explorer. You know, these weren't often, at least in my memory, there weren't many of these built. Or should I say featured. But you can't deny that's a pretty clean look. Looks like Budnik wheels, right? And then boom, connected. Dude, just a great layout. I love this 2-page layout. Just boom, the truck down. Those wheels. And then here it says, found out a membership to the Good Old Boy Network has its privileges. Courtney Hollowell, rest in peace. Escondido down in that area that, you know, many of us have heard, you know, kind of, I think of Brian Jendro when I think of, or when I hear Escondido, which Brian, again, has agreed to come on the podcast. I need to nail that down. He'll be a great guest, true OG in our scene. But I love that it's not the craziest body mods, but I mean, for that time, that truck, you know, you got the French tag, just super clean. You got that little graphic there. Ragtop, tweed, stick shift. Shaved emblems, door handles, mirrors. And then you got the billet mirrors on there, of course, which became a big thing. Rest in peace, Rob Scepter. I posted a photo that tied into Matt Torgerson the other day, and Rob had the motorcycle mirrors on his Isuzu. This weekend is daylight saving time, so I'm excited about that. Have a little bit more light. I was able to work from home today, so I had a little bit of a jump on getting out here, and we're still working through getting my family friend is going to help. We're going to do all the wiring in the shop so that eventually we won't need to worry about, is it light out? I think my family will never see me again. I'll be out here doing flip throughs all day. So here's Mini Diary continued. I do try to go through this not at a crazy fast pace, but not too slow either, because you can pause, you can take a screenshot if you need to, and you know. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. Blown away. I think Shane Schlack, he had asked me about blow-throughs, or walkthroughs maybe rather, not too long ago, and I had found one and sent it to him. Jeremy Bumpus, if you think about what he did with the Maverick, again, Tim from Negative Camber, Florida, he linked us up with him, so thank you. But, you know, what he has with the Maverick is a full stereo in the bed, and I tell you, seeing that Maverick makes me want to go back and almost buy one. You can see the back issue prices here all the way back to 91. Just send this bad boy in. Imagine being able to go back and order. I want to talk about more stories in the future with some of the editors. I've heard stories of like when they were moving, throwing everything away. The old film. I mean, just stuff that would be kind of priceless to some of us who are really big enthusiasts. Okay, so Shartsis, you see this here. And what I want to kind of point out is this is obviously a lowrider style. Apple Valley, Cali. But when I see this, and you can kind of see it here too, Paul Sarkeesian. It has that Hawaiian style to it that I've kind of talked about. Here you got Coalfield Nationals, 1990. And what I appreciate about these issues in this era, although they, as we know, they're not all color, but they just have such good content, from the features to the cover, the show coverage. You know, things were laid out. The layouts were just really, really good. See the stage 1 banner there. That rear tire though, 15 by 14s, Mazda. That's what Mike needs to do. He needs to step it up. But I mean, you literally just have a really, really well put together magazine. And when Courtney and McCormick and Stillwell, when they branched off and they went to street trucks, I mean, you could see what an amazing, well put together magazine. You know, when they had the free reign. Many of you guys know this truck, Isuzu. You can tell from the body lines. You can see right there, 89 Isuzu Pup. But check out the grill. That's something different. That back window, though. Not hating, just saying, dude. Some crazy stuff. And then Kurt, this is Severed Ties, one of the founding members. So Kurt, one of my severed brothers. You can kind of see their Severed Ties. And Brett started the club. Completion date, or projected completion date, before the apocalypse. So Wired. And again, ourlifestylepodcast.com, we have different stuff, including kind of these metal signs. And those are hot sellers. I'll show you really quick over here. I have a couple that I have up. Shout out to Asphalt Army, but I got Total Chaos there. Got the Back to the Future deal. That's a popular one. And guess who's trying to call me right now? Mike Murray. I tried calling him a few minutes ago. He was with a customer. Role reversal. So this is Jerry Don Arthurs. I'll call Mike back in a minute. And I'm getting ready to run inside and call someone to finish this episode for this week. Got a little bit of glare here. So Connie's truck, Sam Fouts. So I apologize for that glare. 88 Toyota. Mazda. And this dime, I really love that style. Even the roll pan, the wheels, the stance. May not be everyone's cup of tea, but I really enjoy that. That grill. Before I ever got my first car, I saw a Sonoma that had this grill on it. And I don't know what it is. I mean, I remember seeing before that an F-150 with a grill. And the truck is still around, believe it or not. Worked at a local motorcycle dirt bike shop. And I don't know what it was. Like, I just knew. I was like, man, billet grills are freaking awesome. It's crazy. I got the memory from my pops, I guess. Lance, your boss, is on the phone. What's in the CD changer? Cypress Hill, Beavis and Butthead Experience, Michael Jackson Dangerous, Forrest Gump soundtrack, Hairstyles, Golf Cart Maneuvers, top 5. Send them in, right? All right, we're nearing this one down. This is a badass truck. Tom Wax, W-A-A-K, I think, is that how you said it? So it's whacked. And tell me that is not fire. I love those colors. I'd rock this every day. 90 Mazda. Again, very cool layout. You know, not cheaply or quickly thrown together. You know, just good stuff for that era. These pages, the pages quality, I would argue and say during this run of issues, like when the pages were like this, I mean, you can't experience it right now, but I'm telling you, like, this page is thick, but it's not too bad. You have the index. For those that didn't know, they would put the index in here so that if you were like, oh yeah, I need to order for something from JBM, boom, you know, it would tell you. And I remember back in the day, some of these being wrong. They probably copied and pasted or whatever they were doing in those days. But for the most part, this helps you get right to it. And then auto sound and security. We've talked about, this magazine in the past, but this was pretty cool. You know, they were advertising their sister publication. And as they often did, Soundstream on the back cover. So a little bit of Mini Truckin history. Again, Chris Anders, He is the guy that started. I was in a mini trucking / car club in the 80s and 90s. That's the group. I believe he technically started it. He owned this Mazda, which I wish I had, which is why we put it on the Live Life Topless remix. Was it Live Life Topless? It was River Run remix. And here's the cool thing. Although the shirt only shows half of the truck, we do have stickers and these metal signs that show the entire truck. Goes Wheels Dough. And of course it was featured here with Starbuck's Blazer. And we talked to Doug Starbuck about this one. We've had the homie on. You can even see, we've talked about this before. So many different people in this. And if you go back and look at the hashtag Spring Splash 1994, I think it is. A couple of our posts, you know, Kyle Gann's truck here that was totaled, and just so many people. And then in the insert photo, in the coverage, not right there, but in the coverage, you can see a lot more people way back there, including Lomigo. You heard that right. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. Stay on the rise. OLP, dog. Gotcha. Peace.